This is J.D. Vance, I believe, cut 4.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by...
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
Okay, so they are just going for it. Just going for it. No more catch and release. No more waving of migrants across the border without proper vetting. It's all over. Proper vetting, by the way. Here's J.D. Vance again, cut 3.
When you talked to us in August, you said, I don't think we should abandon anybody who's been properly vetted and helped us. Do you stand by that?
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals have been properly vetted.
But there are 30,000 people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary concern as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that we know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people are vetted. These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
I so love the fact that the media just still cannot get their arms around common sense.
This guy's going to stop getting booked.
Oh,
he's going to stop getting interviews. They're going to stop asking him. He's winning too much.
So good.
They're not even going to allow this to occur.
Okay, so last week, President Trump made it clear males are males, females are females. The two shall never meet in school bathrooms, in athletics, in areas where sexes are sensibly separated for the safety and privacy of women. He also pulled out America out of the China-fawning, communist-enabling World Health Organization, yanked America from the Paris Climate Agreement. He designated cartels and terror groups as terrorist groups. I have to tell you, the cartel thing, you watch. They're just going to start disappearing. They're just going to start disappearing. They're just going to what happened? What happened to Geraldo? And I don't know. I don't know what happened. You just
Geraldo?
do it. Well,
it's
hopefully.
not the Geraldo.
Yeah, it is. But that's who I was thinking. I think he's a drug cartel. I'm just saying. Anyway, he also called on his Treasury and Commerce chiefs to root out all unfair trade practices and recommend American first policies to take their places. He started the External Revenue Service to take money from foreign sources. He banned government officials from using social media as a tool of censorship and propaganda. He got rid of all of the climate change mandates and the electrical vehicle thing. It was a snowstorm of biblical proportions last week. And he sent the clear message, new sheriff in town. I don't think you're going to want to screw with us. Then he went to North Carolina, who is still suffering, and he told them, you know what, I think I'm going to get rid of FEMA. Woo. So then he went to California, and wasn't that satisfying. So let me get into what happened just over the weekend. First story, probably the most important story. I don't know. You might have been watching football like I was yesterday and Stu was, but there was something really important going on all day yesterday with Colombia. And I have to tell you, this was incredible to have a president who's like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you say. You're Colombia. We're the United States of America. You're taking your illegals back. So here's what happened. We start to deport, and we let Colombia know that 2 aircraft are coming their way with their citizens who were in jail. And we're flying them back. So these are the prisoners that they let out and shipped them to the United States. So we're shipping them back. Halfway there, the president of Colombia says, no, close the airspace to those planes. They're not coming in. We're not taking those people back. And so President Trump, who is on the golf course, hears that and it says, oh, okay. Well, turn the planes around and bring them back. But just tell the president of Colombia, I'm going to put I think he said a 25% tax on everything they sell to the United States. And so the Colombian president said, okay. I tell you what, when they get down on the ground, I'll send my presidential aircraft to go pick them up. Okay. But then after that, a couple hours pass and he's like, yeah, you know what? They are being bullies. We got a lot of leverage here. And he said, so we're going to pick them up, but we're not going to let you do anything with your military around Colombia. And Donald Trump said, perfect. Okay. We're cutting your foreign aid. We're closing our embassy. We're stopping everything in Colombia. It was, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes went by and he was tweeting, just reached a deal with the United States. We're good. We are good.
I believe his exact quote was, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Exactly.
It was unbelievable.
Exactly. Okay. So this matters for a lot of reasons. One, it's showing the United States is going to do what is best for the United States. If you sent people here, you're taking your people back because they're not our people and we're not dealing with it. You sent them. We told you, take them back. You won't? Well, then the United States is going to exercise its powers. It is good for Americans, good for national security, but this not only affects the U.S. and Colombia, he puts a couple of these things on his belt, and nobody's going to screw with us. Do you see he's playing 5-dimensional chess with Putin right now. He is moving things around and pushing. I mean, he is in full-fledged negotiation with Putin to get the war stopped, but he also wants a renewed nuclear treaty with Russia. He's freaked by our nukes. And he told me at one point, he said, Glenn, he said this also with Elon Musk on the Musk X broadcast. He said, I'm freaked by nuclear. I rebuilt this. I know what it can do. We don't want ever to open any of this stuff up. And so what he's doing is he's trying to end the war, but he's also pushing Putin and kind of kicking at him because he's actually going for a bigger deal. This guy he really has learned a lot in the last 4 years. Now, this is also going to help our jobs here in America. I want to look at everything he does and say, is he following conservative values, or are we going into, what was it that the New York Times said? Signs of...
Oh, yeah, this is funny. This is the AI summary of the New York Times coverage over the past 24 hours. And it says, let's see if I can pull it up. Here it is. Trump returned to power. Early signs of tyranny. Kansas City will play Philadelphia in Super Bowl. All right. That's what they've been covering lately.
Signs of tyranny.
Signs of tyranny. Yeah, just throw it out there in news coverage.
So I want to know, are these signs of tyranny? Or is he following our principles as conservatives? First, a nation without laws or borders, is it a nation? The answer is no. If we don't equally apply our laws to everyone, can there be equality? Can there be equal justice under the law? The answer is no. He is also protecting American workers by taking the unfair competition out. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of these places where nobody is showing up for work now. There was this huge construction site, like 8 workers showed up. Everybody else wasn't there. I mean, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't build anything because they had 8 Americans. The rest of them were illegals. Well, Now, America, go take those jobs back, demand the right salary from those people. The next thing he did was America First foreign aid. He just released a memo that instructs the U.S. Agency for International Development, this is absolutely a CIA front, USAID, to prioritize America First in foreign aid reviews. Now, this is a very big deal because USAID has been a CIA and, honestly, Marxist kind of operation. They've taken your tax dollars and they've done all kinds of horrible things with them, and they've given them to our enemies, and they still have been giving it to our enemies, and they're bribes. That's all this is. You do not garner love and respect from people you are bribing, and that's what our State Department and USAID think they're doing is, well, we got to give them this money or they won't like us. Well, I don't want them to like us because we give them money. That's the worst kind of relationship.